If Aristotle were alive today, he would be many things: a philosopher, a teacher, an enthusiastic patent examiner. Let's be honest, the man loved classification. He organized plants, animals, logic, ethics. He would have adored subclass 70510 in the USPTO classification system. And today, we explore how ancient logic became the backbone of modern patentability. Part 1. The Three Pillars of Patentability and Their Greek Roots. Believe it or not, modern patent law echoes Aristotle's philosophy so deeply that one could argue he would file patents just to prove points. Patentability rests on three pillars. 1. Utility, section 101. Telos, which means purpose. Aristotle: everything has an end goal. Patent law: it must be useful. Do something, anything. A perpetual motion machine? No utility. A philosophical theory? Zero utility. For patent purposes, not for life. A machine that brews perfect coffee at 3 a.m.? Utility: unquestionable. 2. Novelty, section 102. To kainon, which means the new in Greek. The USPTO asks, has this existed before? Anywhere? In any form? Even in your grandmother's attic? If yes, no novelty. Novelty law roots back to Aristotelian logic. A new essence must differ in substance from what came before. Case law supporting novelty. In Re Hall, 1986, a single library thesis counts as prior art if publicly accessible. One dusty book can ruin your hopes. 3. Non-obviousness, section 103, unexpected insight. This comes from the legendary case, Graham versus John Deere, 1966, which established the four-part test. 1. Scope or content of prior art. 2. Differences between invention and prior art. Level of skill in the art. Secondary considerations: commercial success, long-felt need, failure of others. Then the Supreme Court in KSR versus Teleflex, 2007, made everything harder by saying, if it's predictable, it's obvious. But predictable to whom? That is the eternal philosophical fight. Part 2. What makes an idea eligible? Let's talk about eligibility. The gate before the gates. Under section 101, 4 categories are eligible: processes, machines, manufactures, compositions of matter, but not laws of nature, natural phenomena, abstract ideas. Enter the infamous case, Alice Corp v. CLS Bank, 2014, which said, implementing an abstract idea on a computer does not magically make it patentable. Programmers everywhere cried for 2 months. Part 3. Humorous examples of what people tried to patent. These are real attempts: a method for swinging on a swing, a process for thinking yourself younger, a method for exercising a cat using a laser pointer, a method for kissing. Yes, someone tried. Rejected. Rejected. Rejected with prejudice. Part 4. When an idea becomes an invention. Here's the academic truth. An idea isn't patentable. An invention is. An idea, self-driving cars, not patentable. An invention, a neural network-based dynamic lane detection system configured to patentable and violently complicated. Part 5. Practical takeaways. Here is my guidance: polished, precise, and occasionally painful. 1. If it can be described clearly, you may have an invention. 2. If it solves a specific technical problem, good sign. 3. If Aristotle would say it has form, even better. 4. If your uncle says, I could have thought of that, file the patent anyway. The Philosopher and the Examiner. Aristotle gave us the logic. Patent law turned it into doctrine, and you, my dear innovator, are here to turn it into your empire. And there you have it. What truly makes an idea patentable, from the wisdom of Aristotle to the occasionally dramatic rulings of modern case law. If your mind is buzzing with new insights, congratulations. You are now thinking like both a philosopher and a patent examiner, which, frankly, is a combination the world doesn't see often enough. Thank you for joining me on this intellectual adventure. If you enjoyed unraveling the logic and legend behind invention, feel free to listen again. Aristotle certainly would. He believed repetition was the mother of learning. And who am I to argue with a man who wrote half the Western canon? Before you head off to conquer your next big idea, don't forget to subscribe, so you never miss another episode of wit, wisdom, and the occasionally glamorous world of intellectual property. Until next time, stay curious, stay brilliant, and may your ideas always be patentable, or at least interesting.